A gun store in Indiana is being sued with the claim that they are supplying all the guns for the violence in Chicago. But it leads to a bigger question. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content and what I do here, you can support me with the link in the description box. Everything is appreciated. Let's talk about this. Now, this actually was a story that broke yesterday. But there is a gun store in Indiana called West Fourth Firearms. They're being sued at this point in time by the city of Chicago because the city of Chicago is claiming that they are the #1 supplier of firearms that end up being used in crimes in Chicago. So they're saying that this gun store in Indiana is fueling the gun violence in Chicago. Immediately the question is asked is, well, if this gun store in Indiana is providing the gun violence in Chicago, why doesn't Indiana as a state have the same gun violence problem as the city of Chicago? Logic would say if Chicago is being fueled by Indiana, then Indiana would have the same gun violence problem. They don't. So it's not a gun problem. And once again, this is people missing the point. It's not a gun problem. It's a culture problem. But you can't say that. No. You can't say that. But I want to come into here, and this is coming out of USA Today, but police tied a decades-old gun shop in Indiana to hundreds of gun crimes. It's shutting down. A northern Indiana gun shop, police have called a key supplier of Chicago's criminal firearms market, announced this week it is closing its doors. In what gun violence prevention advocates say is a win for public safety in a city that grapples with thousands of shootings a year, because the one gun store shutting down is going to somehow put a damper on the violence in the city in Chicago? Yeah, okay. Yeah, these people live in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff lands, as Greg Foreman says. But West Fourth Sports Inc., a Gary, Indiana store located 10 miles from the Illinois border, is liquidating its assets and has not finalized a timeline for closure, attorney Timothy Rudd said Friday. Store owner Earl Westforth, who has been in business for more than 50 years, is retiring, Rudd said. For years, Westforth has been the #1 supplier of out-of-state crime guns recovered by Chicago police, fueling our city's gun violence crisis, Chicago City Attorney Mary Richardson Lowry said in a statement Friday, calling the store's closure a significant victory. And after the store closes and the violence continues, what are they going to say next? But the development comes after Chicago sued West Fourth Sports in 2021, claiming the gun store engaged in a pattern of illegal sales that has resulted in the flow of hundreds, if not thousands, of illegal firearms into Chicago, according to the lawsuit filed in Cook County. Attorneys for the gun store moved to dismiss the case last year, arguing the city's suit concerned dealings between the gun shop and Indiana residents. A Cook County judge dismissed the suit in May, finding Westforth's contracts with Illinois were not sufficient for the court to exercise jurisdiction in the case. The city responded in June by requesting the court modify its order. The city also requested leave to file an amended complaint that establishes a direct causal connection between West Fourth Sports and Chicago, which including allegations that employees' new guns were being straw purchased for the purpose of resale in Chicago. How did they prove that? But attorneys for West Fourth Sports opposed the notion, and a status conference in case is expected next month. Rudd said he could not comment on why the store is not staying in business in the wake of West Fourth's retirement. He said the store's closure is unrelated to the litigation. Truth is, West Fourth Sports could continue to stay in business as long as it wants to, and Earl is closing to go out of his own terms and his own time. Rudd said the guy's been in business 50 years. At some point, everybody got to retire from something, you know. But Alan Lefkowitz, Senior Director of Affirmative Litigation, for Everytown Law, a gun violence prevention advocacy group, attributed the closure to heightened scrutiny of West Fourth Sports in recent years. The fact that Westforth Sports will shutter its doors is a testament to the importance of holding bad actors in the gun industry accountable, Lefkowitz said, adding, "There is no question that Westforth's decision to cease operations will make Chicagoans safer from the threat of gun violence." Oh boy. Yeah. But this is kind of getting into the numbers here. But the lawsuit alleges Westforth Sports repeatedly broke federal gun laws and ignored clear signs of straw purchasing and gun trafficking. How did they prove that? Person comes into the store, they buy the gun, they clear everything. How are you going to know they're going to straw purchase it unless they do it right in front of you? So that's nonsense. Such as high volume, repetitive, and multiple sales transactions involving duplicate or near duplicate firearms. I bought 2 Glock 19s at the same time. Does that make me a straw purchaser? No. I bought 2 shotguns at the same time. But according to the suit, Westforth Sports feeds the market for illegal guns by knowingly selling its products to an ever-changing roster of gun traffickers and straw sham purchasers who transport Westforth Sports guns from Indiana into Chicago, where they are resold to individuals who cannot legally possess firearms, including convicted felons and drug traffickers. A 2017 police department report on available gun traces between 2013 and 2016 found Westforth Sports was the 3rd largest federally licensed source of crime guns in the Chicago area, tied to 2.3% of all recovered crime guns. About 45% of the Westforth Sports guns recovered during that period had a time to crime of less than 3 years, and 20% had a time to crime of less than a year, according to the report. Time to crime is the period between the purchase of a gun and its recovery by police in a crime. Okay. Studies of firearms recovered by law enforcement over a longer period between 2009 and 2016 consistently ranked Westforth as the highest out-of-state supplier of crime guns in the city, responsible for more than 850 recovered crime guns of this period, according to the complaint. Okay. It's saying that, well, in lawsuits and criminal cases, that 44% of the cases involve Westforth Sports or firearms purchased there. Okay. Now, let's come out of that. This is just, once again, a cop-out. Okay? If Westforth Sports is selling guns in line with state and federal law, and that gun ends up being used in a crime, unless they do it directly in front of them, the guy buys a gun and hands it to someone else, as a gun store, you have no say in that matter. Like I said, I've spent 20 years selling guns. 20 years. And there have been a couple of instances where straw purchases were done, but they were done after the fact. The person had a permit, got the gun, purchased the gun, took it home. Next thing you know, the person got arrested, read about him in the newspaper. That's not on the gun store. But then once again, they're trying to make a scapegoat for once again not addressing the actual problem. Indiana does not, as a state, does not have the gun violence problem that Chicago has. So the fact that you can buy a gun easier in Indiana is not the sole catalyst for the gun crime in Chicago. Maybe they really need to start addressing the problem instead of making up all these anecdotes and scapegoats for failure of policy. But let's get another interesting story, and expect this with the whole, as I've literally been talking about FFL revocations, which are rampant right now under Biden. This is just another way to find an alternate reality to what's actually going on with violence in the inner cities. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.